Hello everyone, it's Alex. Yes, I'm back again. Another review for you guys. And we're doing something from Gaming Heads, which I haven't done for a while now. Gaming Heads have a lot of licenses and a few bits and pieces I think are cool, but usually when I get stuff in hand, they're a little bit lacklustre. And their prices usually were pretty cheap. The Kratos I did, the Lunging Kratos, while not the best God of War piece, I still don't think there's been a fantastic God of War piece. You know, for the money at the time, it was 200 quid for a quarter scale. And for that kind of money, it was fantastic, but it's gone up everywhere else as well. Gaming Heads prices have risen, but I don't think their quality has followed on. So we'll get into that a bit. And a few other things. For those who don't know, this is Morrigan from Dragon Age, which is a series by bioware and published through EA. Any of you guys play Mass Effect, think of Mass Effect being one side of the coin and Dragon Age being the other side. So we've got a sci-fi side and a fantasy side. Now Mass Effect didn't really appeal to me. I played the first one a couple of times, didn't really gel with it, which is... You know, after coming off Knights of the Old Republic, I was super hyped for Mass Effect, but it just never worked for me. But Dragon Age certainly did. The first game I've completed about 4 or 5 times, put, you know, at least 400 hours in, maybe more. The second game, even though, you know, the second game did have a lot of shortcomings, if you don't know, familiar with the series, they really scaled a lot of stuff back. It was a lot smaller, the areas are smaller, customization was gone. It was like, you know, a third, if not less, of what the first game was. You know, there's a lot of love put into the first game. But regardless of that, I still like the characters. You know, they introduced some fantastic characters like the hero of Kurtwall and who you play, and Varric. What's her name? Nope, she's gone. Pirate Girl. It'll come to me later. And then... A few years ago, they released Dragon Age Inquisition, which was like this. They wanted to kind of combine 1 and 2 and make it bigger and better, and you know, against all odds. And people saying that they weren't going to do it, they actually did it. Dragon Age Inquisition's a huge game. I've gone through the game twice now, and hopefully we'll go back for a third time. Hopefully before the next Dragon Age game comes out. Because they are working on another one, thankfully. Lovely. I love it. But going back to one of the first game, one of the most important characters, and the character everyone literally fell in love with, was Morrigan. Now, she's this Witch of the Wilds, a very important character to the story. And then she showed back up, and depending on how you played the first game, you could have a child with her. And then she leaves, and it was kind of tied up in a DLC. Which I think most people in their first playthrough, that's the way the game led you. I mean, you could literally play as male or female, enter any sort of relationship, gay or straight. So there's multitude of ways of playing it, but I suppose most guys, if they were playing a male protagonist, they'd, you know, pretty much fall in love with Morrigan. The relationship would build up. You eventually impregnate her, which is all very tastefully done, might add. And then she appears later in this DLC and all this other stuff. And then she returned in Dragon Age Origins. You go to this huge... in Dragon Age Inquisition. You go to this, if my memory serves me correct, you go to a ball and she just appears. She's saving someone. And obviously all the characters that you've got in Inquisition don't know it. But there's a fantastic bit of backstory with the hero Ferelden, who's the protagonist in Dragon Age Origins, and all that sort of stuff that comes through. So when Gaming Heads announced that they were doing Dragon Age, I was super hype. Now, this was a couple of years ago. This has literally took over about 2.5 years to come out, this statue. So it's not always pop culture shock. Amazingly, I don't know why Gaming Heads take so long. Like I say, I think some of their products are quite simple. So I don't know what's going on over there. Actually, a little fun fact. A lot of people confuse Gaming Heads with First for Figures, because, you know, they both do video game licenses. And it was revealed, I think, up until about a year ago, that Alex Davies, who runs First Figures, was actually running Gaming Heads as well. Which baffled me, because First for Figures products, and, you know, I talk about First Figures a lot, are to me, are some of the best, if not the best out there, and the turnaround times and the paint and the care and attention to detail is so fantastic with Fiercer figures, and Gaming Heads just never hit that. Don't get me wrong, this is a decent statue, but it has got stuff wrong with it. You know, this is no Artorias or King. You know, and this is more of a love for the game for me. For Fear stuff, it's the costume. Let me come back a little bit. As you can see, now if you've played the first Dragon Age and not the latest one, you'll think, well, Morrigan doesn't dress like that. Morrigan usually dresses in like a skimpy Witch of the Wilds outfit, and she wears this outfit in Inquisition for not very much time at all. When she comes back to the keep as a member of your party kind of thing, as an advisor, let's say, she goes back into her original costume. Now, if they've got a Dragon Age license, I don't understand why they didn't double down and go for an original look, because that is the look that everyone knows it and loves it for. Like I say, this costume, she doesn't really do much in it, from what I remember. I mean, if I'm remembering wrong, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, this is not the costume that everyone wants. I think only die-hard fans are really going to love this costume. I suppose that's the whole idea of the line, to be for die-hard fans, but it's just a really strange pick to do first. I mean, I can understand them do Morrigan because Morrigan's super popular, but it's just this costume as a pick, doesn't really make that much sense. But saying that, they've done actually a pretty damn good job on the costume. Majority of it's sculpt. There is a little bit of mixed media which I'll show off in a minute. But this huge dress is well textured, or very well painted. It's actually done rather nice, the dress. A lot better than it looks on pictures, I think. And it comes across a lot better in hand than it does on video, I'd say. So what's the point of watching this review? Well, I'm going to give you special magical details that no one else will give you. And this is, by the way, this is the exclusive version, but the exclusive part isn't on yet. So I'm going to go straight in for the face, because I can do this. And then I can do that. And I can do that. And I can do that. So that's how the statue comes. And then, actually, before I do the face, let's just do this bit. So we got the main body, which actually isn't that... I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. It is magnetised, if I remember right. Yes, it is. It's definitely magnetised. So this is quite a big lump of polystone. It's not super heavy, you know, but there's enough weight in it there. I struggled a little bit then. So I'm just going to put this down here for a second. Well, we go over what I think is the worst part, which is the base. Now, I've had problems with Gaming Head statues in the past with the base. Usually because the paint aren't up to scratch. Now, this one isn't all bad and does look different. I mean, it's already changed there because I've brought the camera down and it's kind of changed the lighting. This bit, it's like a sandy stone. There's some fine details on it, but it just looks a bit plasticky. It just doesn't look finished. It needed another wash on it. I feel like that it just needed more. The stone part isn't too bad, but again, it's very soft textured here. It looks really soft. The back, actually, all this stone bit here, and it looks quite good on camera from what I can see. This is pretty good. This isn't too bad, but again, it's quite soft, and like the greens have just been airbrushed on. There's no actual detail and texture for the green. Like you can see here, it's just been sprayed into the cracks. There's actually no vine details or grass details, which would have been nice. And that's my biggest problem with Gaming Head stuff. And they're doing Raziel from Legacy of Kain, which looks fantastic, and I'm sure it's going to be a good piece. But it's on this big stone pillar, and I just imagine that it's going to have this kind of paintwork, and you know, it's a big part of that piece. Luckily with Morrigan, most of this base is kind of covered by it, so you only really get these two bits and this step here. And luckily this step is quite well textured, while some of the higher ones aren't. And I always think Gaming Heads kind of just messed that up. I don't know why. I think it's in Sculpt. I don't think it's in paint. I think I'm going to try and get her back on now. I just think, well, that was easy, wasn't it? Surprised myself. I just think that it could have been done a lot better. It always looks a bit textureless. It just needs a bit more. Now, this particular part might have been like this in the game, but you know, Dragon Age has pretty high-res textures. If they have taken this straight from game files, you know, it might have been worth tweaking a little bit. But anyway, like I say, the base, it's okay, it's fine. It's a 6 out of 10. You know, it's definitely not a 9. It's definitely not... The rest of the statue, I'm happy to say, is a lot better. So we're going to go on to Morrigan's face, which again is fine. She's got a few freckles on there, which is accurate if I remember right. She just looks a little bit dead behind the eyes. Now, it's okay on the statue. The hair's quite nice, quite well textured, nice colours in there. And there's nothing wrong with the paint. You can see the eyes actually done quite well. There's nothing wrong with it. It could be better. It's a solid 7 and 8. And that's where I always feel gaming heads lie, like a solid 7 or 8. Now the chest and the chesticles, really well done. This is actual real lace, if you can see that. Which is a really nice touch actually, it's done really well. Details on the costume, fantastic. All this looks good. So what you've got here, actually I will show you the other arm. This is the normal arm, you can't change that, that just goes in, that's the pointy arm, right? And then you have these two arms. This is the regular, which is just a closed fist, which was just displayed. Again, details are nice, details are great. And then this is exclusive, where she's casting magic. Now the main problem with this is cast in clear resin. This is clear resin that's been painted. Now either this bit should have been like this, or the whole arm should have been left like this, because it's a weird mismatch. And it does light up, and I'll show you another problem with it in a minute. Now this is a lot of negatives, isn't it, for this little statue, and we're going to do another one. So in this arm here, see there's a magnet. In this arm, there's a magnet. Now that's a strong way. You saw it literally ripped out my arm. So if I put that in, as it should go, which I think something like that, it does that because of the magnet. Every time. I don't know if it's supposed to sit like that, but it doesn't look right there. Really don't like that line. Luckily, it's the reg and I'm not going to display it, but again, just a little QC issue. Originally, this turned up separately, by the way. The statue came, opened up all the box, put it together, and was like, oh, doesn't it come with the regular arm? But it did. They sent it separately, weirdly. And now I don't know if that is because gaming heads have got a UK warehouse, or they contact someone in the UK who's got the piece, and then they send it on to you through them. Which is great because there's no, again, like First Figures, no custom charges. I ordered this directly from Gaming Head's website, but this bit came separately. Now, this came the next day, so on the day that I got her, I set her up, said it's fine, but obviously I wanted my regular arm because that's what I've paid for as well. I contacted customer service. Now this is 3 weeks ago, saying, hey, I haven't received the arm, blah, 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 no problem, everything else is fine, can you send me another arm? The next day the arm turns up. It's been 3 weeks now. I've had no contact from them at all. So I'm going to try them again and tell them about this issue. I'm a patient guy. I collect pop culture shock. I'm a patient guy, so I'll wait for them to get back to me. I'm not bothered, but 3 weeks is a bit, ridiculous. Sideshow get back to you within a day or two, Anyway, exclusive arm. Goes on nicely, goes on okay, it blends a lot better. Now, light up. No button on the bottom of the base, no button on the back of the statue, no button anywhere, apart from here. So it's 3 little watch batteries. Look at that glow. That is actually turned on. Don't tell me my lighters will stop working on camera. Hold on. This might be a first. I'm going to turn that one off as well. Okay guys, so as you can see the back is lit up. Can I get some focus? But the flame on the end has decided not to work. Unbelievable. I've literally turned this on twice. Wow. I am absolutely shocked at that. Just like I'm going to carry on. So let me have a quick look inside the connector. But it seems like the bulb's got the LED's gone, but LEDs shouldn't go, you know, LEDs last forever. Especially they shouldn't go after 3 weeks. So, yes, that's what's happened. The LED at the end of the flame here. Oh! I've got a bad contact, I think. Oh! I don't know, is it coming back on? Oh, it's got a light. Is it supposed to do that? It was staying on before. Is it supposed to have a glow? I don't think it's supposed to have a glow effect. But no, I think the mine's a very special edition indeed. Fucking hell. But as you can see, the flame in the hand looks really good. The flames here don't look bad, but they've been painted over. But my big problem is, you've actually got 2 more flames here. And there's no LED there. So give them a tap, see if there's an LED there that isn't working. But yeah, it's in an awkward position. It's not a great light up. It periodically works when it wants to, and it's in such an awkward position. And now I'm going to show you something else, which is a bit of a design flaw. So, let's say I've just took this off and want to put the light on. Right, so let me just angle. To get this back on there, I can't just go like that. I've got an angle here. Slide that out, and there we go. Otherwise, you have to take the arm off every time. I know, silly, right? I will put the lights back off again. Oh no, I can't because I've got to take the base off. Let's put the lights on. Oh my god, this is going to be a quick review. This is going to be... Oh, it's gone off again. Oh, it's gone. Unbelievable. Head goes back on. No problem. And non-light up arm. Let's just go straight back in. Let's turn the lights back off again. That light's gone off again. There we go. So there's the light up, and as you can see, this middle part of the arm, let me put the light back on. Here, no light, and yet there is flames there. I don't know if that's a mistake on mine, but from what I've seen, I haven't really seen anyone show the light off. And probably because it's not worth it and they don't work sometimes. Now, is this a good statue? I like it. I like it. It's, you know, it's the Dragon Age fanboy in me that likes it. I'm not going to say to everyone, you've never played Dragon Age, you've got to buy this statue. You know, it's for the Dragon Age fans. I don't really give marks, but if I did, 7 out of 10. The base really bothers me, and I just think it's poor design with the light up. I really, really hate little batteries. Just run a wire through the statue. I mean, this is all hollow. So you just have a wire running from the base into the foot up to the arm. It wouldn't change any of the construction. You just got to run the wire through to his shoulder and then set the body as one piece, or just have another plug. You know, there's obviously wires running from the bottom of the body here to the arm, so why not have another plug there that runs down to the foot and then have a button at the back and put AAs in the base? There's plenty of room for a couple of AAAs or a couple of AAs. I just think it's lazy. I think it's a really lazy way of doing it. Luckily, especially when First Figures are doing the USB rechargeable batteries, you know, you've got every option under the sun there. You can. So what that is that you get a rechargeable battery and a USB cable, so you can plug it in from the USB cable and have it plugged in the wall, have it turned on as much as you want. Or you can plug it in, leave it on, charge it, unplug it, turn it on, and then it lights up, and then when the batteries run out, you simply plug it back in and it charges the battery again. Genius, absolute genius. And I know First Figures are using it on a lot of their light-ups. And hopefully, you know, even though Alex has left Gaming Heads now, hopefully they take some stuff on board. Jesus. But this is, you know, it's for the die-hard Dragon Age fans. I'll definitely say that. It's a good statue. It's an okay statue. It's a good, yeah, you know, I'm not going to be poring over this like I did with King and other PCs, you know. It's a nice statue. Right, costs, let's do costs. I think it's $360. I think the regular is $350, but I think you've got to go for the X. The X looks better with lights on or off, to be honest. Or lights working or not working. It came in, it's about 290 quid posted. Under 300 for a quarter scale, again, not bad. But, you know, the problem with this is, it's the wrong costume. Poorly designed. Not great at paint apps on the base. Luckily, Morrigan looks great. That is the big plus. The big plus is Morrigan looks great, and if you light up working, it looks pretty decent as well. I just think that a redo of Morrigan should be in order. Do her as the Witch of the Wild, give her a staff, give her, you know, another magic light up hand, do the light up properly. You know, the line is actually continuing. Iron Bull actually went up, who's a pretty funny character in Inquisition. It's a huge, big, like 24-inch statue at quarter scale. He's a big guy wielding a big weapon, and that's $500. So I'm a little bit wary on that one. Of course, all these exclusives are in stock. There's none of these have sold out. She's limited to 500 for the X and 1,000 for the Reg, I think, maybe more. It's not going to sell out. If it was the other design, I think it'd have a much better chance. You know, the Witch of the Wilds, but in this ballroom attire, it doesn't have quite the... I mean, a lot of people play Dragon Age Origins, so I imagine that'd have a lot of... even if they haven't played the other games, you know, it's like people who buy Street Fighter statues and Mortal Kombat statues because they played them when they were a kid. Doesn't necessarily mean that they played the newer games or know anything about them, but they see a Ryu statue and think, yeah, that's great because it looks like when I played it as a kid. And I imagine if Morrigan was in a Ryu, Witch of the Wilds outfit, then that'd have a bit of nostalgia value. Whereas this one, people will probably just go, who's that woman with a flame, with a ball gown? Unless you know Inquisition, you're not really going to know much more. Anything else? Oh yeah, Varric went up for order as well, who looks great. It's a fantastic switch out on him as well. Simple little statue. Obviously Varric's a dwarf, so he's a smaller statue in 1/4. He's about 17 inches tall. And he went up for $400. I'll probably get my order in for Varric, because I really like Varric. He's been in a couple of games now, and he's always been interesting and fun character and pretty well designed. I will marry Morrigan for you. I will measure Morrigan. So she's just under 20 inches. Back to front. Just under 12. And then 12 again. So she's about 20 by 12 by 12. She will fit in a detail. She will fit in a bestie. So there you go, guys. If you're a Dragon Age fan, And you can see her cheap. That was my idea. I was not planning to spend more than 200 quid on it. I figured she'll pop up on eBay. A lot of gaming heads stuff does pop up on eBay eventually, a lot cheaper than retail. But the money was burning a hole in my pockets, and yeah, I decided to go for it. But yeah, it's an okay start to the line. Hopefully Iron Bull comes out better. I'm really looking forward to see how they do with him. And then that'll influence, if I do pick up Varric. And hopefully they get a couple of more out, because like I say, Morrigan went up for order over 2 years ago. And there's been 2 orders since. For this sort of game, and if the next Dragon Age does come out, I'm sure they'll move to that license as well. It's a bit horrible when you get licenses that you're really, really passionate about, and a company gets them that isn't doing them justice. And that's what I think this is, to be honest. But I'm happy enough. If I paid £400-500 for it, I would be delivered, and she'd probably go back. She'd go back. But $290 delivered. I'm happy with it. It's Morrigan. I know it's Morrigan. And and there is some nice details on it. There is. It feels like the whole video has been quite a downer on Morrigan, but I'm quite happy with it. I am happy with it. It's just those little details that matter, isn't it? Just everything needs to be a bit cleaner. But once she's on display, and once I get Varric as well, and maybe Iron Bull, I'm sure it'll all come together. So there you go, guys. That's Gaming Heads 1/4 scale Dragon Age Inquisition Morrigan. What else is there to say? Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.